Hello y'all, and welcome to Young Folk Knits. Today I want to catch you up with a little fall knitting project update. So stick around and we'll look at all the things I've been knitting on. Hello y'all, and welcome back to Young Folk Knits. My name is Casey, and on this channel I mainly like to share about my love for all things fiber arts. So I share about knitting, sewing, sometimes crochet, sometimes spinning, and whatever else we might get up to around here. I also like to share a little bit about living on a small farm here in Arkansas, where my husband and myself and our children are beekeepers. We love raising chickens and gardens and animals and just spending time outdoors here in the foothills of the Ozarks. So if any of that sounds like it might be your cup of tea, make sure and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on any new video content. Today I have a little bit more of a standard podcast episode. I want to show you what all I've been working on, what my plans are, progress that I have made, and I also excitingly have a finished object this week. So let's go ahead and jump right into the knitting. Okay y'all, who thought I would actually finish on time before the release for the alder? I know I didn't. I really didn't think I would. I swear this was a very big will she, won't she moment. But I do have a finished object to share today, and that is my alder sweater. So this is a pattern by Rebecca Clow from the Crayabea, and I got to test knit this, which I loved. I love the pattern. I will say though that it took me a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. Probably because I work on 5 zillion projects at once, which is very frustrating for me and y'all, I'm sure. However, I pulled it out at the last minute, and you may notice I added sleeves. This is, nope, that's the back I'm showing you. Okay, here's the front. This sweater is knit with Sonder Morning DK, and I used the colors Simple Pleasures as my main color and Copper Kettle as my contrast color. I did my collar, which is a folded collar, in my main color, as well as my cuffs and my hem. So I will share a few things that I did about this sweater, but first, the basics. It is a raglan top-down construction, which I absolutely love because I feel like you can get the best fit customized that way. I find that I can usually get a better fit by trying it on and making adjustments when I knit top-down than I can bottom-up, but that's a personal preference. I've definitely heard people say the opposite, so I think it comes down to what you feel most comfortable with. I think definitely because I have a larger difference between my upper bust and my full bust, that my main fit issues are there, and so a top down just works better for me in getting a great fit. Also, I'm tall, and because of the difference between my upper bust and full bust, I find that my tops go out and then down, so I do have to add extra length for most of my tops. This is knit with a all over stitch pattern, and it's a slip stitch pattern used with 2 colors of yarn. Sorry, I think I inhaled some wool there. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is technically mosaic knitting or not, but it is a slip stitch pattern and you are using 2 different colors. However, you don't use the same color on the same row. You don't use 2 colors on the same row. You're only using 1 color per row. So I think it must be mosaic knitting, but I've never heard for sure if this stitch, you know, is or not, but I think it is. Anyway, Rebecca has released an episode all about her alders, so you can definitely find that and get even more info. But I will tell you a little bit of my thoughts on it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's stunningly gorgeous. Here's a close-up of that beautiful stitch pattern. I really love it. And here's a close-up of that beautiful raglan shaping. I think that turns out just beautiful. I did a folded collar, so you have that nice finish on the ribbing there. I did a tubular bind off for both cuffs and for my hem. So you got a nice clean edges everywhere. So I knit mine according to pattern, and I think my body before the ribbing, from the underarm down to before I started the ribbing, was 11 inches, I believe, which is maybe, you know, like a 1/4 of an inch longer than the instructions called for. I feel like my size was 10.75 inches of body. Anyway, I do know for sure that the pattern called for like a 1.5 or less, maybe even 1.25 inch ribbing on the bottom hem. And I prefer a chunkier ribbing almost always. I think especially because I'm taller, I feel like just even proportionally, I need like another 1/2 inch on there. I did 2.5 inches of ribbing, I believe. And I like that. That's sort of standard, what I like to do at the bottom of most sweaters. I'll show you a clip of me trying this on. I am really happy with it. It definitely did block out. I did try to block it out more widthwise than lengthwise, and I hope I didn't block it out too much. I kind of liked how fitted it was before. I definitely think that this is going to be great over dresses and with high-waisted pants or over longer shirts. I'm not a huge cropped top person without something in between. I don't think that looks very good on me personally, but I think it looks great, something cropped that hits at my natural waist over the top of dresses or with jeans and a longer, you know, button-up shirt underneath. I do like that look a lot. I was very torn between doing this as a vest, where I basically just put a little bit of ribbing and turned it into a slip over. But I tried it on and I almost felt like my sleeves went a little bit further than I would have wanted with a slip over. But they probably would have ended up being just fine if I would have just done the ribbing at that point. That was what I wanted to do originally, but I was second guessing myself. And so I decided to do 3/4 sleeves. And that's what I ended up with. I do really like the sleeves. I think it looks great with the stitch pattern all over. They were a bit chunky and sort of had puffiness here at the top. And so whenever I blocked my sleeves, I definitely blocked them out longer instead of wider. And it did make them a little bit narrower here. And it made them a little bit more streamlined, I think. And some of that puffiness is because, again, you're using 2 colors. You've got that slip stitching and you're decreasing with central double decreases. Somehow that does make it a little puffy before you block it, but it definitely blocked out beautifully. So I would keep that in mind whenever you're knitting it. You know, I probably added an inch and a half to my sleeves by pulling them out straighter, longer, and a little bit skinnier with blocking. And I'm very happy with the 3/4 sleeve length that they are. Here in Arkansas, it just does not get that cold. I mean, it really doesn't. This is a warm sweater, and it's pretty much double layer of the Sunday Morning DK, which, by the way, I am a huge fan of Sonder yarn. I absolutely love their yarn. It's amazing to knit with. It's one of my favorite yarns to knit with. It feels incredibly rustic without the scratchiness. When I say rustic, I actually mean like it feels like a real woolly wool. And I love that. It feels so good in your hands to knit with. Now, next to skin, I can't see for some people it possibly being, especially right here, a little bit textured feeling. So you may need to, get it and put some of it, maybe make a swatch, put some of it here and make sure you're cool with it next to skin. I am okay with it. I really like it, especially after blocking. I think it feels even better. And so I do love it. I will say it is a warm yarn. And in this particular sweater, it does feel very warm because it's almost double layered, And that is one of the main reasons that I was really considering turning it into a slip over. Nice thing is, I can always do that. All I have to do is, unravel my sleeves back to where I joined my yarn and instead just pick up those stitches and do some ribbing. So, that's super easy to change one way or the other. Right now, I do think that the 3/4 sleeves are just really pretty. I may keep the 3/4 sleeves through the winter and see if it's too warm to wear. Most of the time here, everybody has their heater running in the winter, so even if it is cold enough outside to wear a sweater, as soon as you step inside anywhere, they're killing you with that dry electric heat, which I hate. So I'm always so hot. I feel like I need layers that I can immediately take off as soon as I enter a building. So, this is great for outside. I'm not sure if it might be a little bit too hot for lots of wear. And if I find that it is, then I may rip my sleeves back out and turn it into a slip over. And I think that would definitely be fine for me to wear during the fall and winter. But I may love it so much with 3/4 sleeves, I would not want to do that. So I'll keep you updated. I do think it is beautiful. I think that Rebecca did an amazing job with the pattern. I love all of the testers who made it as well. There's just so many gorgeous versions of it. And I think it's really cool. You can, go back and forth between which is your darker color and which is your lighter color. And it kind of changes the look of the stitch pattern. Megan from Skeins of Dreams tested it as well, and she used the darker color as her main color, whereas on mine and Rebecca's, the lighter color is the main color. And then Ashley from Design by So and So, she did a scrappy version, which I think turned out super cute. So make sure and check that one out as well. You just need to look at all of the testers. I loved each and every one. You can find them on the Ravelry project page, or if you search on Instagram, you can just type in hashtag Alder Sweater and see lots of really cool versions of it. So thank you for letting me test it, Rebecca. I'm excited to wear it. I may even have to wear it at Rhinebeck. We'll see how cold it is. We'll see if it's something that's too hot or if it's something I can wear. I did have somebody mention in a comment to take it and wear it sort of thrown over my shoulders. Okay, I think that's my only finished object. So now let me share some of my whips I have been working on. Okay, y'all, I have just had decision paralysis. I have not been able to decide what to work on. I feel like there has just been so many options because I have some beautiful projects, beautiful yarn. I love them all, and I can't decide which direction I need to be looking. I feel like especially with Rhinebeck coming up, I've sort of put all of these expectations on myself of what I need to be wearing, what I need to be, what I need to have knit for it. And I've sort of gotten overwhelmed. I've been chatting a little bit with Mega from Skeins of Dreams because we both sort of feel like we're in the same boat with overcommitting ourselves on test knits. We get super excited. There's so many designs we absolutely love and we want to knit them immediately because they're so beautiful and amazing, and we're like, oh, we gotta knit that right now. And it is fun to do a test knit, don't get me wrong, but definitely think that I have got to a point where I got a little crazy with how many test knits I've been doing. And not only that, but just projects in general. I feel like I've been trying to just churn a lot of things out, and I'm losing a little bit of my joy that I get from making and creating. And I feel like to get that back, I sort of need to take a step, take a breath, and be able to take my time on some projects. So I do have a few test knits that I need to finish up, and I want to honor those commitments. But I think after that, I'm going to try really hard to maybe take a minute to not test and enjoy some slow working on whatever I want to work on. If I have a moment to sit down, being able to think, what would I like to work on right now? And just choosing based off of that, not choosing what's on a deadline. And I think I get more enjoyment for my projects that way. Does that mean I will never do a test knit again? No, I'm not that foolish to think I will never do a test knit again. In fact, I may even do one test knit at a time, but I think even that would be better than what I've been trying to do right now. Maybe I will actually take a minute to not do a test knit. Okay, sorry for that ramble there. All that being said, I just felt like I didn't know what to work on. I have a couple of test knits. One is basically finished, but I can't share it with you just yet. It is very exciting. It's something that I have been working on as a preview with Jackie from Jackie Rose. She is part of the Caddy Jacks Knits podcast. Absolutely love their podcast, and she is just churning out these amazing designs. I love all of them. They've mainly been accessories like shrugs and scarves and shawls, and those are some of my favorite things to wear. So I'm loving all of them. And I'll just tell you, she's got something new in the works and you're going to love it. And she's going to share more about that very soon, I think. But I have been working on that, and that's pretty much done. That was a pleasure to knit, but I will share that with y'all soon. Then I have another test knit that I'm going to show you in a minute. And then I have another test knit that I haven't even really started on yet, but it's due late November. So I wanted to finish some things up before I start that cardigan. And one of the things I decided I wanted to finish, I'm such a squirrel, I can't make up my mind. But one of the things I decided I wanted to finish is my Rosenland top, which is a pattern by Sari Nordland. So this is knit with Pearl Soho Cotton Pure. It is a sport weight 100% cotton yarn, and it was kindly gifted as yarn support. But I have to tell you, this is just one of the most stunning patterns ever, I think. And the reason I think it's just one of the ultimate knitting patterns is because you're getting a little bit of all the fancy stuff. You've got twisted rib folded collar. You move into these beautiful big lace panels down the center with panels of cables on both sides. And then these beautiful little lace stitches here, and then the whole rest of the body is textured seed stitch. And you've got a mirror design on the back. So, no, it's not mirrored. It is exactly the same on the back. But it is just incredibly beautiful. You basically just finish off your armholes here with a nice little clean cast on, cast off finish. And all I have left to do is a few inches of body, and then I need to do the twisted ribbing on the bottom for the hem and bind off. I've already attached my last ball of yarn. So I got 3 skeins of this yarn to use for this project. And I'm on my last one. I just attached it last night though, so I should definitely have plenty to finish up. I should even probably have a little bit left over, but I just think it's so beautiful. It was my original plan of something that I would like to wear to Rhinebeck, and I thought, I'm so close, I should try to finish it. Now, if you remember, the issue that I had, the reason I didn't finish it at first is because it was really hurting my hands. So I'm trying to take better care of them whenever I work on this, which I am doing every day now. I am taking breaks. I don't work on it for too long straight. I also have a little machine that does compression and massage on my hands, and I've used that in between with my making, and I think that is definitely helping. I'm also using some wooden needles for this, which I was hoping would help with my hands. And these were gifted. This is Lantern Moon heirloom set. I really love the needles. I do think that it helps grip the yarn a little bit better. But in the end, I think anytime I use plant-based fibers, it still just hurts my hands. So I'm trying to take care of them. I'm trying to go slow. But I've already got about 6 inches of body, and I probably only need 5 inches of body left. I think I could do 11 inches and then do my ribbing, and I think that that would be enough, especially since this is going to be worn over things. I probably won't really wear this by itself. It'll be more of something that I wear over tops and dresses and button-up shirts, stuff like that. So I don't think it necessarily has to be super long. I'm also wondering if with cotton it's going to grow lengthwise. It does get heavier the longer I go, the longer I make it. It's, not a wool yarn. It's 100% cotton. I think that I could finish that by Rhinebeck. Today is Monday, October... What is today? Today is Monday, October the 9th. So I have like 10 days left to finish this. I think I could definitely finish this if I wasn't working on anything else. But let me show you what else I'm working on. Before I get into that though, I want to give a quick thanks to the sponsor of today's video. Today's video is kindly sponsored by Proven. I have mentioned multiple times about how sensitive my skin is and how important skincare is to me. I can even remember being a teenager and I would never even use moisturizer. I went through so many different cleansers trying to find one that worked. Because my skin was so sensitive, I would constantly break out into rashes, just to the point that I thought I couldn't use anything. Now that I'm in my 30s, I am taking skincare very seriously. Fast forward to finding Proven, where I was really impressed with their scientific approach to skincare. They actually won MIT's Artificial Intelligence Award, but Proven uses a science-backed formula. What's amazing is that not only do they look at the actual concerns you have for your skin, but they also look at the environment down to your actual zip code. They're able to look at things like UV, humidity, hardness of water, the pollutants in the air, all of those things based on your location, and they plug that into this formula along with your individual skincare concerns. So they do this with a 3-step regime. You first of all get a cleanser. I have to say, I think the cleanser is my favorite part. It feels cleansing, energizing. I even like the smell of it. It has a great texture. The next thing you get is a day moisturizer, and it comes with an SPF, which I need. And then you get a night cream. It feels so rich and hydrating and amazing, and I'm absolutely loving the results that I'm seeing. So if you want to try Proven out and see if it works for you, then all you need to do is click the link in my description, and you can use my code YoungFolk99, and that way you can get your first personalized Proven system for just $99. That is actually a 50% discount. I'm excited to keep using it. It's just so personalized. I think that's exactly what I need. So thanks again, Proven, for sponsoring today's video. All right, on to the rest of my whips. I'm not even going to show you all the things that I have cast on. It is truly almost embarrassing, but I will show you another test knit that I signed up for out of sheer excitement and FOMO and just true love for the design. Sari Nordland is one of my absolute top favorite designers, and she has been working on a pattern called the Lykke pullover. So I hear this pronounced so many different ways, but I do believe the correct pronunciation is Lykke. It's L-Y-K-K-E, and it's the same word as the needles. I have a set of those interchangeable needles and I love them. But anyway, the Lykke pullover is a really pretty all over lace design, and it uses the chevron stripes to sort of get this very striking yet classy pullover. I love it. I love the color she used, and I just love everything about it. In my head, what I was seeing was a sort of funnel neck, oversized but slightly cropped version of this sweater that I could wear with like bell-bottom jeans, flare jeans, feeling a very modern 70s vibe with some cool boots or clogs. And the colors I wanted to use were inspired by a chair that I have, and it's over here at my desk. It's this beautiful green velvet chair, and all of the rest of it, the fittings on it, are a beautiful gold metal. My mom got me this chair as a gift. I love it. It's one of my favorites, and it's my favorite color. Green, this earthy green is amazing. I love it. I want to be surrounded by it. If I were a comic character, I think you could call me Poison Ivy. Major 90s throwback. Who remembers Uma Thurman? Anyway, I signed up for the test knit. I just absolutely had to make this sweater immediately, and then I got distracted by other things. I decided to do sleeves on my alder, so I didn't finish that until later than anticipated, and I did not get to cast this on as soon as I needed to. I have also had a little bit of trouble with the yarn I chose. So let me just show you. I am using a beautiful mixture. I mean, the color is gorgeous, but it is a Knitting for Olive Merino in the color Bottle Green, and I'm holding that with this Surrey Kumo from aimee in the color Shire. So these are just incredibly stunning yarns. I mean, they are beautiful, and they're beautiful together. But Sari Nordland uses a mohair in almost every pattern she makes. She's got a strand of mohair in it, and I'm allergic to mohair. The problem is when you substitute a Surrey for a mohair, Surrey is usually thicker. Even though it's classified as a lace weight, it's just not really true. And sometimes it almost feels like it's double the thickness of a mohair. Probably closer to like 1.5, but anyway, it's thicker and fluffier and fuller in your fabric than a mohair is. So because of that, I knew I really needed to go with one of the thinnest fingering weights I could find, and I I feel that knitting for olive merino usually is one of the thinner fingering weights. In fact, I usually think of it more as a light fingering. And so I decided to go with that base because I thought it would help balance out the suri that I'm using. However, I am knitting this pattern on 3.5 millimeters or US 4s, and as you can see, I mean, it basically stand up by itself. I am definitely going to have to block out this fabric to make it a little bit drapier, and when I do that, it's going to make it pretty big. I had decided to do the size 6 because I wanted it to be oversized but cropped, and I wanted it to be really loose fitting. I wanted it to be flowy. I even had envisioned a split hem for the ribbing, and her pattern has a significant hem. Now I need to ask permission from Sari before I do a split hem, but you know, that's what I'm seeing in my mind. So now that I'm going to have to block this out and I'm making the size 6, I'm sort of wondering, is this going to be way too big for me? I don't know. I will adjust based off of how big it is. I can make my sleeves shorter. It is drop shoulder, so I can definitely make my sleeves to the length I need them to be, and I can make it to the length I want it to be. And then I'll, you know, even if it's got a lot of positive ease in the body, that's okay. It'll be okay. It'll be sort of what I wanted, hopefully. Because of the thickness of fabric that I'm getting, this has been really hard on my hands because it is lace all over. I mean, every row is lace except for your purl rows. Now, every other row is a purl row, and you're not doing any lace work on those, but still, you know, this is a pretty tight gauge for me. It's a 22 stitch gauge, and with the suri, I feel like I probably should be doing more of an 18 stitch gauge to get the nice flowy fabric I normally like. I just loved it so much, though, I wanted to go ahead and make it. Now I don't really know what I'm doing. This is the back, and I'm at the point where I've finished all of my back shaping at the top, my shoulder shaping, and now I need to just knit straight down the back before I start the rest of the shaping. And I haven't even done a stripe yet. I mean, it's hysterical to me. That's the point I'm at. This is due October 18th. Today is October 9th, and I haven't even done a stripe yet. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I hate that. I hate not finishing a test knit on time. I only need to get one sleeve and the body done, but I think what I'm going to try to do is instead get the yoke and a body done. No, get the yoke and a sleeve done. And that'll be better than nothing, but I feel so bad. I have overcommitted myself, and my hands have been giving me a lot of trouble. So the colors that I'm going to use with that is this Knitting for Olive Dark Ochre. And I have this Lobby and aimee Kumo base again in the color Caramel. There is enough of a color difference between these two when I got this in that I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I need to use a different color of this or use a different color of this. So I did order some yarn, some suri from Chelsea Yarns, and I think it's a little bit more of a gold, let's see, what's the color? Chartreuse, almost even base to it that would go with this, but I don't even think I don't think that it has even shipped yet. So, I mean, I'm not to the point of doing a stripe yet. I think I have to do the front too. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure when I need to add a stripe in. I have to reread the pattern, but I know it's not yet. So, I mean, as long as it got here fairly soon, I could put that with this. Otherwise, I don't know if I need to change my base to go with this color, which is going to give my sweater more of a rusty colored stripe, whereas this will give it more of a gold color stripe. This is much warmer with more red undertones, and this has more green undertones. I don't know. I need to think on this. Just running into lots of roadblocks on this pattern, and it's not happening as smoothly and quickly as I want it to. Not because there's anything wrong with pattern. Pattern's amazing. The design's beautiful. I'm just complicated. Okay. So I cast on multiple other things. I've got my purpurea vest going. I've got that test for Jackie that is pretty much done, that I've been working on, and I actually even cast on another vest. I'm not even going to show y'all because I don't know what I was thinking. I had a moment of panic that I could not finish my rosin lin top because it was hurting my hands too much, so I thought I would make a different vest instead. I've just put all of that in timeout, and my artisan cardigan, I just haven't really made a lot of progress on that either because I had decided to try to finish up my vest. In fact, I'll show you, I don't think I made any progress whatsoever. Although I love it. This is my artisan cardigan back, my little whip. Isn't she cute? And I 100% am going to make this. In fact, it is a priority for me, but I want to finish my rosin top first, I decided. So I know I will not have that to wear to Rhinebeck, and that's okay. That's okay. I've made decisions, and I went a different direction. But I am going to continue working on it, and I hope to finish it this fall. I love it. I had a lot of questions about where to get the pattern for the artisan cardigan. So this is a pattern that's released from Santa's Garn, which is the yarn company, and they only sell their books, or what they call catalogs, with their patterns in them when you purchase yarn as well. Then you can buy the catalogs too. So a lot of times you need to buy a kit for a certain sweater to maybe buy a kit from the catalog to get that catalog as well. Now, sometimes you can find somebody that's, you know, no longer knitting and they decide to resell their book. I don't know. You might be able to find something like that somewhere online. I recently found one from a yarn store in Australia that has, I don't know, it's from a few years back, but it was one that was hard to find, and I was super excited to actually find it, and so I snagged it really quickly. But get online and look around, and you might be surprised what you can find if you are interested in a Santa's Garn pattern. Okay, so another project I am super excited to cast on is part of the Purl Soho Classic Ribbed Hat Cowl. Now, this hat is pretty much my favorite hat, period, to make. I have made multiple hats from this pattern. It's a free pattern, and it uses a DK weight yarn, which most of us have a skein of DK weight yarn in our stash. So it's a great way to use up a skein that you've got that you really like. Now, I gotta tell y'all though, the cashmere merino bloom base from Purl Soho is extraordinarily, it's just extra. It's really, really nice. So it's 75% extra fine merino wool and 25% cashmere. I already have one hat that I have made out of this base. I bought the poppy red color, I think is what it's called. And I mean, it's basically my favorite hat. I love it. But I was super excited to get to participate in this cowl, and Purl Soho kindly sent me some yarn support. So I chose the color Red Mulberry, and I wasn't sure about this color. I thought it was pretty, but it's not a color I wear a lot. But I have a Patagonia jacket in this exact color. It might be nice. I really like that jacket. I like the way it looks. So I thought this would be nice to make a hat out of. Then I saw that Anna from Brook Willow, who is one of my style and fashion gurus. She's my style sensei. She just picked up a skein of yarn in this color and knit a ribbed hat out of it. I can't remember what the pattern was, but it looked really good on her. And she said that it was a color that was really on trend right now, which I will say, I like to see what the trends are. I like to see what current fashion and style is, but I still pretty much just knit what I like and wear what I like and make what I like, whether it's on trend or not. But hey, bonus, I picked a color that's on trend. The other color that I picked is Tide Pool, and this is a heather as well. It's 1510 heather, and it's this beautiful greeny blue with a sort of gray undertone to it. It's got a greenish tan undertone, actually. That may make no sense whatsoever. So this is the Tide Pool, and this is the red mulberry, and I actually think they're beautiful together. I think they're very complementary, and I love, love, love these colors. That makes me think that this hat would look good with my Patagonia coat in this color, but I'm hoping that this isn't too cool to wear with my skin tone. Maybe I just need to make myself a yarn crown, wear it around for a day and see if it's a good color for me. Or we got this one. Anyway, I plan to make one of each of those. So I'm gonna wind this yarn up today and cast on one of them to go ahead and start my first classic ribbed hat for the cow. I'm super excited. And if you want to participate, then you can be eligible for prizes. It's really fun. I really do honestly recommend the hat pattern. I love the pattern. I have made it multiple times. I love that it's free. I love that it has multiple sizes. It fits everybody. It's gender neutral. It's a great gift knit, and I just love it. Honest opinion, it's great. I do have some sewing, but I think I'm gonna save that for later. I need to go cake this yarn up, and I need to make some progress on my vest / top, my test knit. Whew, I don't know what I'm thinking.
Days are speeding by. There ain't no time to cry about giving up on things I really need, like laying on your chest with no distractions, moving with nowhere to go. So pull me close, baby love, kiss me the way I like
thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoy videos like this, then make sure and give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on any future content. It also really helps my channel out, and I want you to know that I notice each and every comment, and I appreciate you all so much for being here. Until next time, happy knitting, y'all.